I think this is about information, about the density of media, that power and information are at war with each other, and power must work hand in glove with ignorance, and ignorance is on the run.
This seems to be the special, unique, transcendental function of the human animal, is the production and condensation of ideas. And what made it possible for the human animal is language.
There is a way, I think, that philosophizing, by virtue of the wonder that gives rise to it, the analysis that it proceeds through, and the world upon which it looks, and the self-reflection that it brings about a way in which we reach into ourselves, into our thinking, and discover all sorts of possibilities by virtue of doing what we are.
Nature is not mute. It is man who is deaf. And the way to open our ears, open our eyes, and reconnect with the intent of a living world is through the psychedelics. The psychedelic inner astronaut sees things which no human being has ever seen before, and no human being will ever see again. But in fact, this has no meaning unless it is possible to carry it back into the collectivity. The artists have not articulated a moral vision. The moral vision must come from the unconscious, because if the artists, who are self-selected for being able to journey into the other, if the artist cannot find the way, then the way cannot be found. In a way, it's the poets that have failed us, because they have not provided a song or sung a vision that we could all move in concert to.
Rhetoric is actually the effective mechanism used by the unelected, non-elected rulers of the planet to govern the rest of us. Why does this word rhetoric seem like noise to all of us? Could it be because somewhere that void, that blind spot of rhetoric, this thing that we've heard of but we don't really know what it is, could it be that unknown which is controlling all of us inadvertently? The use of persuasive speech in our worst interests?
Ideology is extremely alien to art. Political ideology, I mean. And if you will but notice, it is political ideology that has been calling the shots for the last 700 or 800 years.
Once you understand the root of philosophy and the difference between philosophy and ideology, then you see that there's this, the controllers are always trying to get us to follow an ideology because it's often very groundless, and it's marked by all these isms that we have, which are control systems, people management systems.
We can transcend politics if we can put some other program in place. You cannot transcend politics into a void. And I believe that a world without ideology could be created if what were put in place of ideology were the notion of the realization of the good, the true, and the beautiful. You know, the three-tiered canon of the Platonic aesthetic. Then use psychedelics to empower the artist to go into this vast dimension that surrounds human history on all sides to an infinite depth, and return from that world with the transcendental images that can lift us to a new cultural level.
So these are substances that throughout history, if used properly in the right set and setting and with critical thinking, can break people free and show them how the whole system works. I know there's a lot of people out there that think that they can free the world with psychedelics only. It doesn't work that way. It didn't work in the 60s and 70s, and it won't work now because they didn't give people critical thinking and the tools to see through the lie, and they'll be able to have a real awakening moment.
Now, as you know, biology runs on genes, and genes are the units of meaning of heredity. But we could make a model of the informational environment that is represented by culture, and in fact this is done. A word has been invented, meme, M-E-M-E, meme. A meme is not the smallest unit of heredity. A meme is the smallest unit of meaning of an idea. Ideas are made of memes. And I think the art community might function with more efficiency in the production of visionary aesthetic breakthroughs if we would think of ourselves as an environment modeled after the natural environment, where we as artists are attempting to create memes which enter an environment of other memes that are in competition with each other, and out of this competition of memes, ever more appropriate, adapted, and suitable ideas can gather and link themselves together into higher and higher organisms.